So do not be naive and ignorant in thinking that because you live in America, this wouldn't happen. At the end of the day, when this violence kicks off, human beings turn into chimpanzees. It's the reality of it, okay? So do not be fooled into thinking that you are safe from this, all right? This isn't to scare you. This is to prepare you, all right? Right, so once that event exploded in a singular location, right, you're going to see what? Riots and protests break out, especially in urban areas all over the country, right? And you might see this tinderbox event, boom, starts to flare up, and the whole country is enveloped, all right? That's one scenario, okay? The other scenario that I foresee is terrorist attacks. And by that, I mean set up terrorist attacks, right? So I think a very likely scenario of something happening is something like a black church in the South is going to be hit with a truck bomb. Hundreds or thousands of people are going to be killed. They'll blame it on a far-right extremist Trump supporter. The left will come out in massive protests. The right's going to be pissed off, come out, counter-protest, protest hits. Boom, that can set the ignite off, right? That's how it's going to look, I think. And it's the most likely way it's going to look. These things happen with sort of an atomic bomb. A singular atom splits, and it explodes from there. All right, so let's be very clear. The last thing any of you want is civil war. I hear people talking about this all the time. Oh, civil war and this and that. And guys, war is ugly. I've done it myself. None of you want it. None of you are ready for it. At the end of the day, it's not cool. It's not going to be like the movies in Hollywood, okay? And to the right, who I always hear say, oh, you know, one side has all the guns and the other side can't figure out which bathroom to use. Okay, true. However, that's not how civil wars work, right? When a real civil war or collapse happens in America, it is not going to just be right versus left. Why? Because after probably about the first 72 hours, okay, all the foreign nations, sleeper cells, which are here, okay, China, Russia, Iran, all of them are going to get activated, and those foreign countries are going to come and be involved as well, okay? And which side, I know the right's super confident, which side do you think China is going to jump in on? Which side do you think Russia is going to jump in on? They're going to jump in on the side of the socialists and the communists, right? Why? Because they know they'll be able to collapse the country, and the best thing that could happen in the world for these countries is for America to completely collapse, okay? So do not think, as a right-wing conservative, you are going to have the advantage in an actual civil war. It is not going to just be like the first Civil War, okay? Understand that. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be chaos. If it gets to that point, it's bad news, guys. You do not want to, none of us want to live through.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kadash. Forgive me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth. And royal will, Wabrakatham, unto the hopeful elect. Beginning with the 144,000 on down to the sincere men, women, and children that do believe, okay? The elect. All right. And just like the beginning of this clip, you know, I'm just going to pull out some precepts because this is exactly where we're going. And you got the Edomite dude. If he's an Edomite, he's probably an Edomite. More than likely, all right, and he's talking about you don't want to live through that. Hopefully we don't go through that and this and that. If it gets there, well, it's going to get there. It's going to get to the point where it is going to be chaos. It is going to be trouble and tribulation in America. And he even spoke about the sleeper cells that's already here. All right, because it's really so much. It's really so much that it's so well orchestrated for this chaos to go ahead and take place in America, you know, that you should really be focusing on your relationship with the Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, because he's the only one that's going to be able to save us out of this trouble. And we know that they're going to come for us, the believers, as it speaks of in 2 Ezra chapter 16, starting around verse 70 on down. Speaks about how they're going to be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, which is who? The elect. Okay, because that's the only ones that fear the Lord right now. All right, America does not fear the Lord. Trump don't. Biden don't. These puppets don't. The elites of the earth don't. 2/3 of the nation of Israel and America certainly doesn't. But the elect does. That's speaking about the believers. And it's just going to be a trying time. Jacob's trouble is going to be a trying of your faith. And it's going to test everybody on the earth. All right, and it's going to be found out that most people don't have faith in the Lord. All right, and few do. Okay, but that's fine because that's how it's written. But going into this video, because he said some very interesting stuff, and this was from the brother GMS Get This Work. All right, that's where I got that video from. That's his channel name on YouTube, GMS Get This Work. I love his videos, man. I watch them all the time. They're very inspirational and edifying. And sometimes I actually do like a reaction or a lesson to it, you know, because it's so edifying in the videos, and it's so prophetic. All right, because these things is literally where we are. Okay. Without further ado, 2 Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 14 in the GNT, man, because this is exactly where we're at, man. We're about to see this play out. Okay, what the dude's saying, I hope this don't happen. Well, these things are going to happen. All right. It says in verse 14, 2 Ezra 15, 14 in GNT, the world and the people in it are doomed, right? The world and the people in it are doomed. Now, ultimately, all right, physically, yeah, you're going to be doomed if you're on Earth. All right, when the missiles and the fire from the chariots is hitting Earth and you're not in that chariot, standing over that sea of glass, the see-through floor of that chariot, beholding it, yeah, you're going to be doomed. But if you're in the world, you're also doomed. If you're spiritually attached to this place, you're doomed. Okay, you have to spiritually unplug. But the people that's in this world and caught up in the pride of life and all of this and, you know, the cares and affections of their life, yeah, they're doomed, man. Because they're going to take that MOTB. And the people that do fight back, these patriarchs and stuff, because you got these people that have been training, you know, these, what they call Proud Boys and stuff, man. People been training 10, 20 years, waiting on this time to come. They got their group set up. You know, people got bunkers. Everything's in place, man. Venezuela, for the last few years, opening their prison houses, releasing their prisoners, sending them to America. Rather, it's actually them sending them, or they're just coming here. I don't know exactly, but they're prisoners. They're opening the gates, releasing these most dangerous prisoners, and letting them, you know, they're sending them into America. So you don't even know who the average Joe on the street or the average chick on the street. You don't know where she came from, what she's done, which you never knew, but now it's at an all-time high. You know, it's a very dangerous time we living in. So you would definitely need Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, on your side. So this is really a time to focus on your relationship with the Lord, man. Because if you don't see the Lord as valuable and you're doing what you want to do, you're not gonna make it, man. You're gonna be doomed, being caught up in your life. All right, just like these people just getting put to death day in and day out. Verse 15, the war that will bring their destruction is very near, right? It's very near. WW3, which we're already in it, all right? But this World War III, Armageddon, the war to end all wars, pursuant to prophecy, because this is going to be the last war to take place, because our Lord is going to be on the scene, and then the scripture is going to be fulfilled that, hey, once we're in that land and we're ruling, hey, there's going to be no more war, which shows you that the people that's in the land right now are not the real Israelites of the scriptures. They're not the biblical Israelites. They don't even fit the curses as a sign that they're Israelites, because the Israelites will be cursed for a certain time period. Okay, so they're definitely not the people. But it says in verse 15, the war that will bring their destruction is very near. And we see it, man. We see this thing heating up. Reading on, nations will arm themselves, right? And we definitely see that. Everybody got nukes. Everybody got ICBMs. And the siege, all right, I forgot what it's called. But what's the actual name? You know, basically, the Lord already has these nations lying in wait to get this thing, you know, burning. You know, to put the evil thought in Putin's mind, you know, to get this thing going. No matter what pacts and treaties they make, and peace here or whatever, it doesn't matter, man. The Lord has his mind set on what's going to happen, you know, to Babylon the Great, America, which is spiritually Egypt, spiritually Assyria. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has his mind set on this place and what he's going to do to it. So the intention is already there. And we're seeing the manifestation of the end of this place. And it's going to go out with a bang, literally. And even before the bang, before the missiles and the fire from the chariots come, all right, it's going to be what? It's going to be all out hell in the streets. Verse 15 again, where I left off, nations will arm themselves. We see that. And we see Putin arming other nations that are the enemy to the West. It says, and fight against other nations, right? So it's going to be wars. We see that. All right, Ukraine and Russia. What's going on? Israel. All right, they're speaking of China wants to invade Taiwan, and they all have this stuff they doing, and they think they're gonna rule next. All these, Putin, Russia, China, they think they're gonna be the next superpower, but they're not. Because they're gonna go hide out in them bunkers while this destruction take place, all right, and while this hell is breaking loose. The elites, they're gonna go into hiding, which Putin and Kim Jong-un and all the motherfuckers, they not the elites, man. Those are puppets. They're just faces of this. There's true elites. The Rothschilds, the banking families, that really own these things, and they don't want their face shown too much. They want power. They don't really want fame. Okay, but they're gonna fight each other, and when they fight, all right, the elites in them, they're gonna go down into them bunkers, and the Lord's elect are gonna pull them out. All right, nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. That's what we're seeing about to go down. And even on a micro scale of civil unrest, civil war, it says, verse 16, there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. Right. They're going to ignore if, let's say Kamala gets into office or Trump does. They're going to be ignoring that president. They're going to be ignoring the police, the deputies, the governors, and they're going to be ignoring all of that bullshit. Okay, they're going to be, fighting each other. And, hey, Lord's will, there's an election coming this November 2024. But we know all these things play a key role, all right, in this thing heating up, just like the Trump assassination attempt, Salakia. Just like that plays a key role in pushing this envelope forward, all right, for the chaos to begin, because that was could have set off civil war. Hopefully, don't get taken down because of that. Me saying that, but yeah, that would have incited that. Okay, whether it was set up or not, which, hey man, that was pretty much set up, man. We're not ignorant to Satan devices. All of these things in the earth, this is a stage. The world is a stage, But yeah, that's what we're about to see. We're about to see that war. And these people don't know what war is, Americans, so it's going to be even harder for them, but hey, this is where we're at. We're about to see this thing pop off, go full blown. The sleeper cells that's here, they're going to be activated. It's going to be a lot of different events. It's going to be a domino effect. It's going to be a popcorn effect. It's going to be like the atom effect, like he said, man. One event is going to happen, and that's going to change everything. Just like, the C-19, that event changed everything, changed the world. Just like Trump's assassination attempt. That could have been the ignition to the atom, of all hell breaking loose. So here we are. We're pretty much one event away, for this thing to be rolling. And knowing that, you should be praying to Yahweh Shema Shai, doing what he requires you to do, prophesying and teaching his truth. Whatever your talents are, doing what you're supposed to do, all right, and increasing your faith, because we see these things come to pass, and also increasing in your fear. Okay, because that's ultimately going to increase your faith, because you're showing that you fear, which is acknowledging Yahweh Shema Shai and also his existence. Okay, when you acknowledge him in all of your ways, as the scriptures say, but also so that you can be good with the Heavenly Father. So when this thing happens, he put the spirit on you to endure whatever you have to endure, and also so that you can eat in a time of famine and all of that good stuff, man. Because only the Lord is gonna, be able to get us out of this. Ain't no gun, ain't no storing up water gonna get you out of no civil war or bullets, or running to FEMA camps, or whatever, going down to the police station or whatever, or linking up with your whatever, and forming this militia, because the scriptures speak about the ones that escaped the famine, which I'll grab right quick and we'll jump back. I know I'm talking. Let me grab that. It ain't gonna be no escape, man. Especially if you're in the land of America. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 16 and verse 22. It says, "For many of them," in the KJV, "for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine." Right. So there's gonna be a great famine that come in this land. Okay. And it's gonna be worldwide, because Jacob's trouble is gonna be worldwide. Okay, but specifically in America, man, it's like the front row seats to this movie. Okay. It says, "shall perish of famine." And the other that escaped the famine, right, you got something to eat somehow. Okay, maybe you stored up something or whatever. Or maybe even you became a cannibal, because that's going to come back. It says, "and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy." Right. So you're going to need the Lord. You know, you're not going to be able to save yourself. 11 people coming into your land or your house or wherever you at on the move or whatever, marauders or whatever, groups or hundreds of people, versus you and your Glock. You and your your group and your Glock that's fighting and struggling for power. And y'all got some food and they don't, and they're, it's going to be like the movie The Book of Eli. It's going to be like I Am Legend out here, because the population going to drop. It's a lot to get into this, man, because this is where we are. And I've been going into this precept a lot about how, this civil war is coming. But, man, so many different clips. And, I just love it. The Lord got the spirit on me to keep on bringing it out. Okay. It says back in 2 Ezra chapter 15 in the GNT, in verse 17, it says, "there will no longer be free access to cities, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live." Right. So it's going to be terrible in the cities, but not saying, "oh, I'm going to move to the sticks, and I'm going to be good." Nah, man, Jacob's trouble is going to be worldwide. Okay. It's not just going to be, "well, I'm going to be over here. I ain't going to have to take the C-hip or whatever, because I'm in Texas. I'm in the back road. It takes 30 minutes to hour and a half to get to where I'm." Nah, man. Okay. You're going to need the Lord still. And Esau has a hit list. He's watching. He watched the algorithms. He know if you're subscribed or you click on the videos, or if you was in the truth or fell out. It don't matter. Okay. It says, man, it says in 17, "there will no longer be free access to cities." Right. So Esau wants to shut this thing down. He wants 15-minute cities and stuff like that. Esau wants to shut this stuff down, but he's going to bring the chaos first and let it, which the Lord is using him to do all this. All right. Because the Lord can bring a plague in the form of bringing it out of, what you would call the woodwork or nature or something. Just bringing it out of, thin air. How he smote Egypt with plagues, turned the water into blood, using, his men on the earth, endowing him with them with power to perform the miraculous miracles. Or he could use man, as in Esau Edom, to shut down the stores and bring a famine, put out another pestilence, a disease, because he controls all. So he can use whatever. He could use fucking locusts, to eat up your crops and bring a famine. That's, the Lord can use what he wants, man. He can use a roach. He can use a donkey. He can use whatever he wants, man, to bring whatever he wants. All right. He uses bullets to bring forth judgment, just like the teeth of wild beasts to bring forth judgment. So he can do whatever he wants. Don't undermine, the Most High. Okay. He can speak in many different ways. Okay. But the point is, it says there will no longer be free access to cities because of the struggle for power. All right. So because of this civil unrest and stuff, that's going to bring what? Once Salakia. Just roll down my window. It's getting kind of hot. Okay. Salakia. But yes, once this civil unrest and all this stuff pop off, Esau not just going to let it happen and nothing, man, he going to bring martial law. All right. These people, they're going to be ignoring the legitimate government, and the legitimate government is going to bring troops. Okay. They're gonna bring troops, man. Okay, to try to get a new order established. Okay, to try to reinstitute order, but he has to bring chaos first. He has to crash this system. That's what we're seeing. So verse 17 to 18 go together really good. It says there will no longer be free access to the cities, Salakia, because the struggle for power, roadblocks. All right, you see that in all these movies, I Am Legend and stuff. You see the pillars and the tanks and stuff. Because so we're gonna see riots. We're gonna see these things on another level because they happened before. But hey, man, it's gonna be worse than Antifa. It's gonna be worse than BLM protests. It's gonna be worse than all that. When they was getting shot in the face with the rubber bullets, it's gonna be beyond that. It's gonna be real bullets. Okay. So Esau's gonna stir this thing up. He's gonna put out some more events and let this thing unfold. Because 18. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction. Woo! This what it's gonna bring. Because, so they're gonna move in with the troops and stuff, all right, with the military. Why? Because the struggle for power, all right, the fight, the civil war, the civil unrest will bring destruction, right? Buildings gonna be on fire, chaos, cars, you know how they be flipping cars in the protests, throwing Molotovs and shit. It says terror, right? All right, people gonna be getting jacked up. People gonna be getting put to death in different ways. And total confusion wherever people live. Verse 19, driven by famine and terrible suffering. Ooh, man, so it's about to get horrible out here. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions, right? So people not going to have that tender love for one another. All right, because what? Because the iniquity that abound is making the love of many wax cold, as the scriptures say. For the love of many shall wax cold. And that you go into that in the Blue Letter Bible. It says psycho. All right. So people are getting more rash with their decisions. Because what? They're being driven. They're being driven by tribulation. You know, everybody's on edge. So imagine another event or two happens. And it pushed them off the edge. People going to be going, man, hey, like the Snickers commercial. You're not you when you're hungry. Well, it ain't going to be no Snickers. It ain't going to be no slacky. It ain't going to be no food. It's going to be a famine. But the Lord's men are going to eat. You know, scriptures speak about that. Let's grab that right quick. Because that's the flip to this coin, you know. It says, so all we got to do is focus on serving the Lord, man. Nothing else. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat. Right, but you got to serve. And you can't do it later. Oh, Lord, you know. No, man, it's going to be too late. You got to do it before the mercy period ends. And we're at the end of that. You know, you think the Lord's going to be speaking forever? Nah. It says, but let me start from the top. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry, right? Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Right, man? All right. And the scriptures speak about in Sirach, in the first or second chapter, I believe it's the first chapter, it says that the fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart. All right, right, man. Hey, when that wrath come, it's not going to come near you. Psalms chapter 91. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 21. All right, the wrath not going to come near you. 10,000 going to fall at one side, 1,000 at the other side. These people going to get mowed down in these protests, these riots, all right, in this struggle for power and all of this. These people going to be caught up in that, you know. Meanwhile, the Lord is going to be dealing with his elect, as he already is, but it's going to be made more manifest, especially as this draft happens and people are going to go off to war. And there's going to be few men left. And women starting to see the value in men now a little more. But it's going to be, the Lord about to crank this up on another level. This ain't it. This ain't as far as it's going to go. It's going to go a lot farther than this, man. Because it's already fucking horrible. But it's about to get terrible. It's about to get, like, real perilous times. You know? That's what we're about to see. Okay? That's the point on that. Isaiah 65. We go back to 2 Ezra chapter 15. I read verse 19 again. I close it out. It says, driven by famine and terrible suffering. So when this happened, people gonna be going in on each other. All right, when this thing really blow open, when this next event happen, it ain't like, shit gonna hit the fan and the stores all get empty and all that. Then everybody gonna join hands and start, oh, what you got? You got this? All right, let's bake this together. The community's coming together, helping each other and shit. Nah, man, people gonna be at each other's throats. We ain't in that type of community. America's not that type of place. Okay, going to each other neighbors and stuff. Oh, I got 2 loaves of bread left. I need to feed my family, but here, you could take one. No. They're gonna be at each other's throats, man, and they're gonna mercilessly plunder their possessions. Right? No matter if you've been neighbors 20 years, kids went to college together, y'all played ball together in high school. It don't matter. You went to each other cookouts, pool parties in the summer, all that. Maybe even took a vacation together. It don't matter, because what did Alex Jones say? Well, if it came down to it, I eat my neighbor. I eat him. Right, man. So he telling the truth. I'm going to eat my neighbor if it come down to it, because I got to feed my daughter. Right. So, people going to be making these decisions, man. Cannibalism going to come back. And this is where we are. But that video brought me straight to that 2 Ezra 15, man. Just like a lot of these things are. So we here, man. Don't be distracted. Don't be caught up, because that's why these people are going to go crazy, man. They're distracted right now. They're not worried. They're not paying regard to the Lord and his message. But we are. So knowing that and knowing what's coming, we should be ready when it happens. We don't know exactly when. Oh, we got 20 minutes left, or we got 25 days. Nah, man, but we should be sleeping with our boots on. If that good man had known, all right, that the thief would come, he would have watched. So we're watching, and we're blowing the trumpet and letting you know, hey, we there. This thing about to blow wide open. So, just to put that out, man, put that on some ice. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai, Bahashim, Rakha Kadash, for giving spirit and power to make this lesson. Until next time, Kamran Shalom.